It's the Shitcase Cinema.
I want out!
Hello. Now, what could this be about? Well, the Cthulhu is a fictional beast created by author H.P. Lovecraft, and that's where the history lesson ends, boys and girls, for today, because this film has nothing to do with that. So the film opens with this guy talking about a load of nonsense, which reminds me of the opening of Zardos, funnily enough. Kind of reminds me of Bela Lugosi too, but anyway, he's a shitty stage magician called Shandu, and I mean really shitty because he ends up setting his wife on fire somehow by reading some ancient text. He really doesn't look bothered. Next thing, we're at a theme park and introduced to some of the weirdest characters who are unsurprisingly terrible at acting, but then did you really expect me to review an Oscar-winning movie? Seriously, their acting is beyond wooden. It's like watching a forest of trees trying to act out a scene. But anyway, we meet a drug dealer who's on a ghost train and he wants to buy some cocaine from another drug dealer and he wants to know where he's going to get the money from.
This shit's worth over 10 grand street, man. Where are you and your little riffraff hoodlums gonna score green like that, huh?
From Switchblade Bank, asshole. Here's first payment.
I love that. Switchblade Bank, asshole. So he's with his gang and they get involved in some awesome action with a cop who shoots one of the goons called Chris in the leg. And another gang member kicks the cop while he's down, or kind of kicks his own foot by the looks of things, but you know, whatever. Meanwhile, a random black guy watches on from the shadows. Interesting. Now you'll be pleased to hear that also at the fairground is the shitty magician Shandu and his sidekick who doesn't speak, but he not only rocks an epic tash, but epic eyebrows as well. A real man's man. Now I don't know how much time has passed since this happened. I mean, it's probably the same day, but he's working with his daughter now, and after the show they get taken hostage by the evil gang of goons. So despite the theme park on lockdown due to this guy getting killed and the cop getting beaten up, the magician is allowed to leave by simply impressing with his wizardry.
Evening, Chandu. Sorry, but we gotta check all vehicles.
Yes, I heard.
That's incredible, but you know I quit smoking. See you Tuesday.
Meanwhile, a random black guy watches them leave. Amazing. So they drive to the magician's home, which is a huge mansion. Now I guess it's called Cthulhu Mansion. I mean, it's the only thing that will make any sense in this movie, and the bad guys have a real dilemma on their hands now.
So where's the TV anyway?
There isn't one.
No TV?
Brilliant.
Forget the TV. The point is, what are we going to do with the coke?
Oh yeah, the coke. Hey, how about phoning up a drug dealer? Now, this scene amounts to nothing and it serves no purpose.
Got something for you.
Surprised?
Asshole.
This is all bullshit anyway because it's only a matter of time until the bodies start to pile up. So will the Cthulhu creature be unleashed? Don't be stupid. Has Shandu got powers to unleash the Cthulhu creature? Don't be stupid. People just die. Don't ask me how, I don't know. It's just the power of Cthulhu Mansion. Meanwhile outside, a car pulls up and a random black guy is behind the wheel. Fascinating. Who the fuck is he? Maybe he's the Cthulhu. Here's another example of some fine acting amongst the group.
Nobody gives a rat's ass about your brother. You little bitch!
Andy, lay off, man.
I love that. So anyway, it's time for people to die, starting with the epic Tash Man who fights one of the goons but sadly loses and is killed. The film's short, running at only 87 minutes, which is a good runtime really for a low-budget horror film, but the fact that it takes 53 minutes before anyone is killed by the so-called supernatural horrors is an awfully long time. I mean, aside from the kills in the movie, which I'll get to in a moment, nothing really happens. Yeah, sure, stuff does happen, of course, but it's just boring stuff, and it's like experiencing a 24-hour Titanic marathon. Anyway. Now here's my top 5 random bullshit moments. Number 1, we know that Shandu loved his wife because as she's burnt to a crisp, we see black and white flashbacks of them enjoying walks with their umbrellas. Forget eating in classy restaurants, forget holidays in the sunshine, just show shots of them walking in the rain. It's brilliant. Number 2, it's hard to tell from the quality of the video, but I'd say that that guy is laughing at Shandu's wife on fire. He stood there wondering if to use a fire extinguisher and finally after laughing decides to give it a go. Yeah, too late, arsehole. Number 3, listen to what this clown says.
Well, they stabbed the poor guy 3 times. Looks like Graham almost got him in the parking lot, but
They practically kicked his brains out. They just took him to the hospital in real bad shape.
I see Hawk stab him once after saying his classic switchblade bank line, and the cop was supposedly kicked in the back, not the head. Number 4, after Chris is shot in the leg, the very next scene cuts to him playing an extra walking along. Look! And the funny thing is, seconds before you see him walking on by, he says,
I don't think I can walk.
but then there he is, clear as day. That is real magic, Shandu. Continuity is not a strong point here. Number 5, Shandu chats to his dead wife, who appears somehow for no reason. He asks for help, doesn't get it, so asks for forgiveness instead.
Forgive me, please, Leonora. Please, please forgive me.
It was not your fault.
Whoa, not his fault. Sorry, but if he wasn't such a shitty magician reading ancient spells, then you'd still be alive. Bonus pointless fact for you. It was filmed in Spain, but I think that the TV logo that you can see in the corner is from an Italian station. So, you can sleep easy knowing that.
Shit, what's that?
Magic props.
So, evil stuff starts to happen because Shandu apparently opened the door according to his dead wife.
You've opened the door.
Well, no, he didn't, but who honestly cares? So, some stuff happens like Chris, who is dying because of a bullet in his leg, gets possessed, or the really talented crack whore gets pulled into a fridge by giant claws. You know, just stuff, run-of-the-mill stuff. Meanwhile, a random black guy sneaks into the mansion. Creepy. Do you know what will make a better horror film? Hyde Manor, my new book that's just come out. Now, if you like your paranormal all-out horror stories, then maybe give my new book a look. It's available on Amazon for 99p on the download, or you can get the paperback for $5.99. Lovely. And let's face it, folks, it's going to be Christmas soon, so just a helpful hint there, you know, stocking fillers and all that. In fact, do you know what would make a really good tagline for my book? I might have to republish it already and put, would make a better film than Cthulhu Mansion. Anyway, it's got a picture of me on back as well, so value for money. Thankfully, things begin to escalate.
The evil is free.
Doesn't mean that's any good, but regardless, at least we get some decent horror moments like this guy taking a shower only to drown in red water blood. Meanwhile, a random black guy sees the red water go down the plug hole with no sign of the random goon. Mystifying. But all questions are soon to be answered when this happens.
Just came to pick up my coke
Hey, what coke, man?
and pay you back for my friend Eddie.
Eddie? Well, I guess he must mean this guy from the beginning who was stabbed 3 times according to this moron. And the possessed Chris is somehow zombified now and scares Lisa.
Somebody help me! Somebody!
Hello, you're in the room on your own, you stupid bint, or did your brains melt from the stupidity of this movie? Meanwhile, a random black guy who is dead has his bag of cocaine crawl away and into the fire. Fucking trippy, man. Oh, and if you watch the trailer, it's actually called Black Magic Mansion, which I guess makes a little bit more sense. Or maybe not.
Cthulhu Mansion.
Make up your mind, it says one thing, yet you're saying another. God, you can't make this stuff up. I love this.
Turn that thing off.
I did nothing.
Shandu is the master of delivering lines with such conviction. Of course, she gives him a run for his money when he tells her that Hawk has run away and left her.
Haven't you considered that your friend might have left you as a trick?
He's coming back! I know it! Yes! No! Yes! No! Yes!
I don't know what drugs she's on, but if you act hostile to houseplants, then they will attack you Evil Dead style and end your life, bitch. Shandu comes clean and admits that he's unleashed the evil, but he can't control it. Boo-hoo. Hawk meets his end via flying knives. Oh dear me. Ouch. Then this happens.
Disappear from the light. Return to the shadows of hell.
Wow, I mean, that was intense. And Shandu and Chris switch places. He and Lisa run away. Shandu sinks into the earth and the house blows up because why not? Ow. Did he just say, ow? You goon! But the movie saves its scariest moment for last when it seems that evil never dies and a sequel could be on the cards. Of course, a sequel didn't happen because Cthulhu Mansion is shit, but saying that, it's simple and it's to the point, and it's actually a breath of fresh air to watch older films such as this, no matter the genre, where you're not being bombarded with shoehorned PC bullshit left, right and centre, pandering to the overly sensitive vocal minority, as is so often the case in films and TV shows nowadays. It just makes it so much more enjoyable. Send those clowns to Cthulhu Mansion and be done with it.
We're all doomed if we stay in this house.
To be honest, for large sections of this film, you may as well go for a walk on down to the DIY shop at the end of the road, buy yourself a big tin of paint, paint your walls at home, and just watch it dry because you'll have far more fun. Or read this, Hyden Manor. It's out now on Kindle download and paperback. The acting at times is often amusing, but it's always excruciatingly bad to the point it's like watching a dubbed Godfrey Ho Ninja movie. And if you can believe it, it's got nothing to do with the Cthulhu monster, nor anything by H.P. Lovecraft. Despite what this nonsense says at the start. It's rubbish, complete waste of time, and no, there's no Cthulhu, so don't ask. 2 out of 10, or 1 out of 10, or even 10 out of 10, because anything makes as much sense as this drivel does.